wand review. Welcome. I hope you guys are ready for a somewhat long video because you may want to watch this at 1.5 or 1.25 speed, or go get a snack, maybe a drink, maybe you're on your phone. Watch this while you go to get a snack or a drink. I'm okay with it. I'll wait. Don't mind this. This is a blood blister because I smashed my finger. Pretty good. Doesn't hurt. It's just there, and now it looks weird. So I'm pointing it out to you before you guys are like, what the hell is that? If you guys don't know what we're going to be doing, we're going to be reviewing some of your guys' wands. And if you guys want to submit them, send them over to newwandsday@gmail.com. And I will receive them. They'll probably sit in my inbox for a couple months, and then I'll be like, I think it's time for one of these videos again. I'm not going to be going over all of them because I have a lot. I just kind of randomly picked some, and that's what we're doing today. So if your wand is a part of this, good for you. Maybe bad for you. Depends on what I say. And let's jump into it. The first wand was submitted by Lazara Pashikitega, aka Crazy Serbian. I didn't make that up. That was what she said. Okay? I'm not calling you crazy. You said it in the email. All right? Check out this wand. Looks pretty cool, right? Kind of reminds me of somebody's wand that they've made before in the past. You said it in the email. You said it. You were trying to copy one of my wands that I made, and it looks really good. I think you did a decent job of copying it. Couple things that are a little different is that the actual indents, those grooves that you put in aren't deep enough. They kind of have to go in a little bit deeper, and that would give it more of the look to make it look more like mine. But it looks pretty good. I like it. You did a nice job. Photos aren't that in focus, but I see it. I see the wand. I see it. It looks pretty good. Nothing bad to say about it. Nice job. Next submission was by Aurelius, and they are a fellow wand maker. And so certain things that I'm gonna nitpick right away is I'm not sure the length of it. It does seem a little bit on the stubbier side. Like the blade is very thick all the way through. It doesn't really have any sort of a taper, making it look a little bit shorter. But that gem on the end is really big. So maybe it's actually really long because it looks big. I don't know if that's a gem or a knob. I'm also not a big fan of the wrap around it. Too tight makes it look too much like a sword or something, but the technique is all there. I'm imagining what you were going for. You pretty much did. I don't know if maybe it's just the design isn't all there. The gem on the back is really, really big. It does make it a pommel heavy, but also then the guard and the handle part of it are still there. So I feel like if you were to maybe shorten down that the wrap, it would maybe flow a little bit better. It looks pretty good though. It's not a bad wand. I feel like the design is the weaker part of it. The execution was pretty good, but the design itself is where it falls a little short. Sorry if I'm being a little brutal. Just so you guys know, I'm going to be honest about all the wands that we are reviewing today. So hopefully nobody gets their feelings hurt, and hopefully somebody learns something from all my words. Next submission was by Joy from Canada. Hello to Canada. You mentioned that it has a vinyl wrap. That's what's around the handle. Cool idea. I don't like how glossy it is, but I understand why it's there. You said it's for grip and stuff. Did you say that it's for grip, or am I just assuming? Handle, wrap, for grip. You wrote that. You wrote for grip. And then you have a metal guard. I'm assuming that metal guard is has a little set screw, because it looks like there's a tiny little set screw right there. And I'm assuming that's how you tightened it down. It looks cool. I like the idea. Not a big fan of the design. Once again on this one, I'm not sure if that's where that guard came from. You can't really tell. It probably looks better in person. I feel like the photos are not doing it justice, also because the background is in focus, not the actual wand. So you did a nice job. I feel like you did a 50-50 split there for the guard and the or the handle and the blade itself. So it kind of it kind of makes it look a little shorter than it is, or maybe you could have made the handle a little smaller. I don't know. Next wand was submitted by Khalid. And Khalid is actually, according to his email, 12 years old. And I honestly think that it's a simple design. You didn't try to go too crazy, knowing that you're 12 years old, so you don't have access to probably a lot of tools and a lot of different things. Somehow you burned it. So hopefully somebody was overlooking this burning situation here, because it looks like you burned part of it. That may have been dangerous. I do not recommend, if you are underage, to be using a torch or an oven to burn wands. Just definitely have a parent or some sort of supervision around. So hopefully everything is okay, and hopefully nobody out there is trying to do stuff and burn down their house or burn down anything, because it's could be dangerous. Could burn yourself, could do a lot of stuff. Now back to the wand. I do like the design. It's it looks like you took off the bark off of a piece of a branch or something and burned it a little bit. Not too much going on, but it looks good. I always tell people to, if you're trying to create something and you don't have the tools or the means of doing something, then just keep the design simple, because you'll be able to make something that looks good and simple, as opposed to trying to go super complicated. And then you won't be able to get anything actually done because you don't have any way of making something. I tell people this all the time. I've sat on wands for like months because it wasn't coming out the way that I wanted it to. I had to figure out a tool or a way to use a tool to get the thing that I wanted to do with it. I feel like I'm overcomplicating what I'm trying to explain to you guys there, but hopefully that explains something. Next one was submitted by Oscar from Spain. Hello to Spain. And you used a pyrography pen. I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming that's some sort of burning tool, because you said you used it to burn the bits on this. And then you also melted some tin into the little end there on the pommel. Looks really cool. I feel like the only thing that you could have done a little differently, I can't tell, but I feel like that split that you put in the guard could have gone either all the way to the end, or you could have, instead of burning it all the way to this end, you could have burned it all the way to the other, or not burned it all the way to the other end to have a nice split there. I think it looks a little weird because it's in the middle. Another thing that you could have also done instead of doing that is faded the burn out. So, do less of those dots all the way down, to make it like kind of fade in, so that there isn't that abrupt split right there. Just because the fact that line isn't perfectly straight, it seems like you're trying to get it to be perfectly straight, but it's not. So it kind of pulls your attention there, and I'm sure that you don't want that. You kind of want the whole wand to look like a whole thing, right? You don't want your eye to just go to one spot. And whenever I look at like a profile of this wand, my eye automatically goes to that split right there, right where the black meets the white. We'll say the dark meets the light there. And I feel like if you did a blend, kind of made those dots go up in like kind of a gradient almost, I think that would have brought this one together a little bit better. Looks good though. I gave it a blue. If you guys didn't know, I rate these as I get them in my email, so that I know what I thought of them when I first saw them. So I kind of know, hey, this is this is a blue. Blue is up there. It's not the best, but it's up there. Maybe I'll tell you guys my rating system someday. Next wand was submitted from Vicenza, Italy. So it was actually submitted by, where's the name? Atez. A-T-E-Z. I don't know how to say that because I'm not Italian. So back to the wands. According to you, you like my wands, but you prefer straight wands, which it looks like all of your designs are pretty straight. Not sure if you made them on the lathe. Kind of looks like you did. One of them here, is this painted? I can't tell if this one with the white stripes, if it's painted or if it's like a wrap that you wrapped around it. I think it's painted. I'm gonna go if it's painted. All right, so I feel like this is a nice design, but I think it's a little too chubby. I think if you made it a little bit skinnier, maybe like an eighth or a quarter-inch skinnier, maybe not on the white parts, maybe left that big, but if you made the other two parts, the little curvy parts, if you made that a little bit skinnier, I think it may make this one look a little bit better. All right, and now this one, I like this one. I would say that I don't like the blue. I feel like it's too just blue. Maybe in person it looks a little bit different, but I feel like it's too rich of a just regular blue. Maybe if you put a little bit of a gradient there, maybe a little bit darker blue, or maybe faded a little bit of a white in the middle of it to wrap around and kind of fade it out into the blue. That may look a little bit better. Or maybe even if you brought some of that gold, it looks like that you have on the pommel, over to those two little guard pieces, that may have kind of brought the whole thing together, because I feel like the gold at the end, I think that's gold, I'm not sure, I'm just going by what it looks like. The gold at the end may kind of, I don't know, make it look a little bit like it's not supposed to go together. I feel like it's too disconnected. The guard to the handle is too disconnected. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, and now this one, I like the design as well. I think the design is really cool. I think that the you need some sort of you need to bring some sort of that color or finish to the actual center of the wand. Again, that blue is very blue. You need to do let me get something. This isn't a perfect example, okay? But if I had made this wand just blue, just no any sort of darkening or lightening, wait, what? If there was no gradient or anything on this, I think it would make this wand look a lot more dull and just not pop as much. I feel like if you put a little bit of a highlight on that blue end that you have on that one, it would just kind of help give it some more depth and give it a little bit more character. And then also the handle is just, I don't know if you have any sort of clear coat on that, but maybe if you even just did a like a semi-gloss on it to make it kind of fit in more with the end that you painted, because the end is painted, right? I'm assuming that's paint, and I really like that black to that orangey color. That looks really good. And then eventually into the whiter color. But if you now added, you see how it's dull? You see how the handle is dull? I feel like if you added a little bit of a semi-gloss to give it that same cohesive sheen to the whole wand, then you'd have a really good, then you'd be all set. Then you get better, it would look better, that's all I'm saying. Okay, next wand, submitted by, you have one name and then a name in parentheses, so I'm gonna say the name in parentheses, Alex. Was submitted by Alex. First of all, I'm very happy with the pictures. You did a good job sending some good quality pictures. Also, the correct ratio, at least pretty close to the correct ratio. So, nice job. And this one, I really like. It's a simple design, but when you look closely, you have those little details. I like the green color in it. I think that green, there's that little hue, that little bit of green in just in some of the things. So I'm assuming that either that's naturally from the wood, or more likely it is a little bit of either airbrushing or a little bit of green that you did, and then you sanded some of it down. If I were to guess, you either painted it on something, you got it on there somehow, right? That's my guess. And then you have the little notches on the blade part, which is, you don't see it as often. Usually you see people add a lot of stuff to the handle. Usually you don't see that as much. You don't see as much detail on the blade, and then the guard or the handle and the pommel all kind of plain. You don't see that often. Usually it's more details there, and then the blade itself is left boring and plain, which isn't wrong. It's just a tradition, what most people do. But now what I like about this is that I I say this all the time. If a design is simple, it's usually easier to make it look really good. If you have a very complicated design, it's a lot harder to make it good because you have to make all of the parts of it fit together. You have to make everything work properly. And that's what makes making a really complicated fancy wand look really good. And that's why a lot of designs submitted, I usually have some gripes with this one. Almost pretty much perfect, right? It's not perfect because it wouldn't fit everyone, but it's pretty gosh darn close. It's a beautiful wand, simple, super simple design. Sometimes those are the best. They really are. They're just simple. You can't beat them. All right, next wand was submitted by Braden, and look, here we go, guy. Here we go, buddy. It's really out of focus, so I can't really see anything. So here's what you got to do: take some better pictures, resubmit it, and then I'll look at it again. Okay. So this is the only one I think I'm going to show you guys that's out of focus for today because, you know, just want to make sure that everybody knows it's one of the criteria for submitting wands. Size is important. Orientation, I usually like it, oriented like a monitor or a something like this, so that I can put it on the screen at full size. Otherwise, I have to put it on like this, and that doesn't really jive all the time. So make sure you guys submit good photos. Next wand was submitted by I think it's Gnome. I think your name is Gnome, and it's a rendering of a wand, and it looks pretty cool. Nice simple design. Would be pretty easy to make. Then we have that nice little spiral right there on the handle, and then the tapering down on the actual pommel itself, which I think looks really good. This would be a fairly simple design to make, but I think it could come out really, really nice, and nice job. Next up is a submission by DC, which you have submitted wands before. I believe this white one over here with the white handle. I think you've submitted that one before. I think we've seen that, and maybe the bottom one as well. But let's talk about the other three, or let's talk about all of them. First, the top one. I really like it. It has a very Newt-esque look to it with the hole at the end. It looks like it's a little bit silvery. And then the next one, I can't really see. It just looks like a pretty straight design. Can't really tell like if there's a lot going on there. And then the next one looks all pine coney, pretty cool. The white one, I love that like it looks like bone. I love it. I love that look. It looks great. And then the black blade looks great as well. And then the bottom one just looks like bone as well, but it's like an older, like dirtier bone. I like all the little spots because, like bone, if you cut it, it has all the little holes in it and stuff. I really like that. I like all of these, man. I think they're all good. I would say the second one down is probably the most boring one, but I can't really tell. Maybe it has some stuff drawn on there, designed of some kind. So a nice job, DC. Next wand was submitted by Logan, and I really like it. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of the big curve there. I feel like it doesn't flow well enough, but it's still pretty good. I like what you did there with the little nails. I don't know if you saw my wand that I made like that, the purple one, and that gave you the idea, but either way, it looks cool. I like it. I don't know what the wrap is. It's like that stuff, the bag stuff. I don't know what it's called. My brain is just dead right now. It's not working. So it's pretty cool. I don't love it. It looks good. It's not for everyone, but it's pretty nice. So nice job. James from Poland. James from Poland. And this wand is super cool, super simple. Another one of that black gradient going into the wood grain. And that has a little ball at the end. I really like that. One thing that I think I don't know if you go by the metric system, maybe you measured it wrong, but you're telling me that this is 11 inches. But it seems really, really skinny to only be 11 inches. So that means that, like, if it's 11 inches, let's say it's about this big, it's like, it would only be like this thick, the whole thing. I feel like it's a little bit longer than 11 inches, but that's just me. I really like it though. Super simple design. Nice little ball at the end. Looks really good. I have a design that has a little ball at the end too, but I've never made it. At least not the one that's like kind of organic like this one is. I have another one that I made. It was like straight and then a little ball at the end, but not like that. I like it. Nice job. What was your name? James from Poland. All right, this next one was submitted by Aaron, and I almost skipped over this one, but then I read your comment and I was like, oh, okay. I like the creativity, so let's talk about it. As you can see, it doesn't look like a lot, but the cool part about it is that it's actually 2 sticks put together with some hot glue and it looks like chopstick string and hot glue. So the idea is really cool. So you have the wrap, you have the hot glue, gluing them together. So it's almost like 2 wands put into one, and I like it. I think it looks cool. I think it's a cool idea. I think it could be better. It could have been executed better, but I do like it. So honorable mention. That's what this is. An honorable mention. Nice job. Next up is 4 submissions by Liam from Britain. So they're all drawings, which you know, if you have a drawing, you can submit them as well, as you've seen a few of them already. So let's start off with this first one here. Where we have this little brass guard piece, and then this nice little twist. The twist I just noticed is actually like a snake eating itself or something. It doesn't make any sense. Yep, I don't understand it because the snake is eating itself here, and then it wraps around, and then the tail goes around the other side. But it's not eating its tail; it's just eating another part of itself, or maybe it's eating another snake that became the rest of the wand. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's throwing up the wand. I don't know. I like the design. I think that the snake little design thing just needs to be figured out. Or maybe just remove the snake head completely and just make it a little white alabaster, whatever color that is, spiral, like figure 8 thing, you know? It may look cool. And then the next one is this nice black. I gotta turn my head so I can read what this says. Black ebony, I think, wood, which would look really nice. The silver and slightly tarnished silver guard or whatever, or pommel. Sorry. I think that's just black and silver. Just always looks really, really good. It just you can beat it, but you know it's a pretty good fight with other designs. But black and silver, super classy, always looks good. Black and gold, black and really anything always looks good. So they're really, you know, this would be a cool design if you can get a pommel that looks like that. If you can make that or find that, or that would look really cool. The only problem is you'd have to have that silver piece in the guard part match the same tone of silver that we have for the back. If you did like a shiny silver there and then like a tarnished silver here, it would look a little weird. It wouldn't look as good. And then now we have, it looks like an all wood. I'm sorry I'm doing this. I'm trying to read because the images are sideways. So it looks, I like it. It kind of reminds me of a yarn, like a ball of yarn, or maybe a tennis. No. What is it called? Volleyball ball at the end there. There's a lot of patterns, right? So we have straight lines, we have a hash, we have I just said it, volleyball at the end as well. So I feel like maybe take away the spiral on the blade and or maybe bring the hash marks up higher and take away the spiral, or bring the spiral down further. Maybe just get rid of one of those patterns and I think it would look better. And then the last one, black and white and a little bit of pink and gold, it looks like in there. That, again, that handle would be really cool to make. It would be really interesting to try to figure out how to make that. Maybe with some acrylic it would look really good, and throw some stuff in there. I think that would be the way to make it, like an acrylic, piece of acrylic with maybe some some silver and gold, or maybe just gold. I'm not sure, but all these designs look pretty good. The snake one I would change the snake head, but and the volleyball one I would also change a little bit. But the other two are good. If you could make those pommels, that would be the hardest part. Next up, we have a submission by Steve, and I like what you said in the email where you're like, I put a mini Maglite in there for scale, and I'm like, I don't know how big a mini Maglite is. I know Maglites are like this big, but like, what's a mini one? Like this? Or like this? You know? Thanks for the scale. Just kidding. I can tell how big it is. And then you also mentioned, so both of these wands, one of them is more for an urban environment, which I get it. If we're talking about guns and stuff like that, I understand, you know, you want a shorter gun so that you can maneuver it around a little bit easier and you don't have to have a big rifle to move and everything. But here's the funny thing about wands is that that doesn't matter. I know that somebody makes, like, I've seen one of the subscribers make a sniper wand, and I'm just thinking, like, it doesn't need to be like that because it's not really, there's no projectile coming out, right? So it doesn't have to be longer to be more accurate, to get a better spin on the projectile that's coming out. So I get it, but it doesn't make sense. But I understand where you're coming from, and I like both of these designs. I definitely like the top one a little bit better because, I don't know, I just like the organic look of it. I'm not a big fan of solely, for the most part, the lathe wands, which it looks like the middle one is, well, the second one, the brown one is more of a lathe style. Then you painted some stuff on there on that little break in the handle, and then also it looks like you put your maker mark, it said, in there. Looks really nice. But now that bottom one, anyway, I do like it. I do like both of them. Just would have to say that the brown one is just a little bit, it's too stubby and short, but I understand why you designed it that way. I definitely like the top one though. Nice job. Next one was submitted by Walker, and it was actually made with hot glue and some other stuff. I'm going to show this. You sent me two pictures. One is like a darker one, but I can't really see it. There's this version and this version of it. I don't know which one is the latest version. I'm assuming that it's this, the darker one. This goes to show if you want to make something, you can definitely make it even if you don't have the proper tools to fully make it, you know? There are obvious things here that are wrong, but not really wrong, but just you can't accomplish by using hot glue. But it does look cool. It looks like a wand. That's all that you could really ask for, right? The next wand was submitted by Ella, and it took you about 2 days, according to your email, to make this. And I'm gonna have to say that I like it. I think it's a cool wand, cool design. I think that the tip is a little bit too pointy, but that's a nitpick. That's not really a big deal. Doesn't really affect it. It definitely reminds me of a traditional style with the guard, the right ratios there. I meant to say conventional style, which is that ratio that we speak of often-ish, kinda, a little bit sometimes. I do like this wand though. There's really nothing to complain about it. I can't see all the little details on it. Otherwise, I may say that it would be better or worse depending on what the details are showing me. Let me see if I can make this a little brighter. Yeah, no, it just looks like it has a ring and some like cut ends at the end, which I like. I like the organic style. Looks good. Next one was submitted by Chelsea. I'm assuming it's like Chelsea or something, but I like it. It looks cool. It was inspired by the Salazar Slytherin wand, which it looks pretty good. I saw, as soon as I saw the picture, I was like, hey, this kind of looks like Salazar's wand. And then you were like, hey, this wand was inspired by Salazar Slytherin. And I was just like, oh my god, that's pretty much what I thought. So good job. Except you added the gem at the end. Did I say gem? The gem. I meant to say gem. You added that gem at the end, and it looks pretty good. Some of the lines aren't like straight and stuff, but I'm assuming that you didn't mean for it to be perfectly straight. So inspired, not a direct copy. So I'm gonna go with you did girl. You did good. You did good. I'm gonna go with you did good. Okay, nice job. Next wand was submitted, I think we actually have two, by William. And, okay, so let's start off with this one, the one with the wrap on it. It's pretty good. I feel like the actual wand itself underneath the wrap, it was for the most part sanded down. You put a little bit of color on there. Unless that's the bark, that brown, I'm assuming that that's some sort of stain that you used and you sanded part of it off. Maybe. I don't know exactly. But the wrap as well. So I have a wand that I also used a similar, like a twine, like a heavy, thick twine. I don't like this style of wrap. One, it makes it look really bulky. This wand suffers from the same thing that your wand does, where it has a really thick handle, almost a little too big. And this is one of my first wands, and I really like it. I think I'll always keep it and have it and know, where I came from type thing. And I don't really love. You said you put the twine or whatever that is string in there for the feel. I just feel like if you went with a thinner one, it may look a little bit better. Other than that, it seems like you did what you were trying to do. So we can't really complain about that. And now moving on to the next wand, I just realized that the next picture is the same wand, except it's not. Okay, so I definitely like it better without the wrap on it. I thought these were two different ones, but now that I'm looking at it closer, it's the same one. Okay, so I do actually like it without the wrap. Maybe if you did a wrap, so you see how the engraving's going this way, right? That you did. Maybe if you took a wrap and did it like the opposite way, but only like one going around so that it crosses the underneath, that may look really cool. Or you can do the other thing where you just put it inside the groove that goes all the way around. That may look cool too. Unless you already glued that on, then don't mess with it. Just leave it the way it is. Make a new one. Leave that one. Don't touch it. It was a wand that you made, and just call it that, and then start a new one. Sometimes it's better to do that as opposed to changing an old wand that you may not like. Just keep that to remember, where you came from type thing. So tip of the day. Now we have two wands submitted by Pierce, which I think one of them I already showed you, which is this one. I think we've already seen this one before, but heck, let's show it off again, right? Because it's a beautiful wand, looks great. I have no complaints about it. Beautiful. And then we have this one I think is new, but maybe I showed you guys this one already as well. It's just, there's nothing to say about it. It's just it's a beautiful one. They're both beautiful ones. The end. Next up is Knox. Knox made this wand. It's their first wand they ever made. It looks like you used like a thick twine on that too, or a thick type of string on there, and it's the same thing as this. But I can't actually tell if it is as thick as this is. But so here are my thoughts. It looks pretty good, especially for your first wand. Not bad. I don't know if you wanted it to the whole thing to be the whole handle to be black. It may have looked cool if you did the black underneath and then wrapped it with the color, or even if you removed painted the whole, put the thing on, painted it, and then removed it so that you're left with like the not painted parts underneath. Hopefully somebody understood that, because I don't know. It's definitely a very simple design. I don't know if I love the actual painted handle. I don't know if that's, I can't, just because I can't tell in the pictures, because that may be part of it. The pictures make a big difference. You guys have to kind of take a picture in a nice, well-lit room. If you go outside when it's a nice sunny day, that may be, especially if you're taking a photo on your phone, that may be your best bet, because phones are really good and they take pretty decent photos in light, like well-lit rooms, or outside, preferably. If you're trying to take a picture inside, it will take a picture, but it'll usually not be as sharp and as nice as it could be. So keep making wands. I do like it, so nice job. We have a submission from Steve, and according to Steve, this wand was from a piece of birch from the 100 Acre Wood in East Sussex, and according to him, that's a real place. I'm gonna have to believe you. I don't have the time or energy to go and look it up, so I'm gonna hope that you're not joshing me and believe you. So I like the whole wand. I don't like the acorn part. The acorn is definitely like a big part of it. It came out good. It looks like an acorn, definitely. Just not a big fan of the acorn, but I love the rest of it. It looks really cool. I like the paint job on it. It looks nice. A little bit of sanding to get rid of the edges. Look good. Meant to say looks good, but whatever. All right, guys. So I'm gonna cut it off here because this video is getting really long, and I'm gonna just separate it into two parts. So look forward to the next one coming out next week. I'm gonna go and record some more right after this, but it just to be able to get it out in a timely manner, I'm gonna have to just stop it here, pause it, edit it, and then do the rest so that you guys could get it on time. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, if you want to submit your wands, send them over to newwandsday@gmail.com, and I will review it and maybe probably say some bad things about it, or creative criticism. Nope, that's not the one. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. I'm so tired. My battery died on my camera because I've been recording so long. Even though it's plugged in and it's slowly like trickle charging it while I'm using it, it still died. So I've recorded a lot today, and I'm tired. And I'm gonna go probably record some more right after this. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Creative criticism? No. Creative. No. What's the word? Constructive. Constructive criticism. I freaking found it. It was just locked up in there. It didn't want to come out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Go check out the new Wandsday that just came out or is coming out soon. I don't know what's coming out first. I got so much to do. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next video, and maybe go read some more and make some more wands because it's good for you. If you guys want to join the Patreon and support the channel, link will be down below also at the end of the video. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below letting me know which one out of all of these guys' wands was your favorite. And I'm sure that it'll make the creators feel good too. So see you guys in the next video. Bye.